Welcome to the Grind to Greatness podcast, where we dive deep into the world of relentless determination, hard work, and unwavering dedication to help you unlock your full potential. We're your hosts, Jonathan and Joseph, and your mentors along this journey to greatness. Each week, we'll bring you inspiring stories, expert insights, and practical tips where we've turned our dreams into reality through sheer grit and resilience. Whether you're looking to excel in your career, improve your health and well-being, or simply level up in life, this podcast is your go-to source for strategies, motivation, and the mindset needed to achieve personal excellence.
What's up, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Grind to Greatness. And today's podcast is sponsored by Elite Mind Athletes. It is the #1 online elite coaching program for high school and college athletes, helping them build the discipline required to perform at the highest level. We built a user-friendly app that tracks their productivity where it counts the most, and that's learning how to clock in when everyone clocks out. We structure and organize their day to execute 10 high-performing habits that focus on 4 key areas: mindset, nutrition, discipline, and performance. It's called the Elite Grind System. If you want to become a champion, then you must start training like a champion. So if you have an athlete that's looking to take their game to the next level, please visit elitemindathlete.com and check out our coaching programs. So, Joseph, how you doing, brother? You crushed it in the last podcast, man.
Yeah, heck yeah, bro. I'm fucking excited because we only covered a fraction of goals, New Year's resolutions, and we are about to dive into, I think, what most people are more naturally drawn to, which is fitness and changing their days around for their goals.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to dive into today, man. So I'm super excited.
Awesome, man. Well, where do we begin?
Man. So, guys, if you don't know this, I did give you a teaser of the last episode. Jonathan Mercado over here is just a phenomenal daily optimizer. He's got habits and behaviors in place. He's got coaching and communication in place. He's got systems and approaches and resources in place to help all of his athletes optimize their day. And so I'm excited to see how we can take everything you do with athletes and just apply it to the general population, which is going to be super excited. So let's do this. Let's dive into optimizing your day first, which then we can sprinkle in fitness routines into that, and we can go back and forth on what we would like to do from a fitness standpoint. But first, let's just kind of go with the case study idea of, we have this client, and they have a New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
And they're going to wake up next Monday and they're going to try to attempt this goal again, because they've probably attempted it before, fallen off track, never hit their goal. And guys, you can check out last episode to dive into kind of approaches, and do you want to dive off the deep end? Do you want to get a coach? Do you want to do it yourself, and nutrition? But let's talk about the mindset of starting Monday. Let's start there.
Okay. So this is almost why I don't work with adults anymore.
Stop, don't tell, that's our audience.
Right. Well, I mean, so this is why I transitioned to athletes, is because I want to prevent it from getting to this point where adults are, and understanding, because adults want everything quick, they want everything fast, so they start with the wrong mindset, right? And so being a nutrition and fitness coach for almost a decade in total, one of the things that I noticed was that you would give them all the answers, give them all the blueprint, you give them everything they needed, and they just could not execute, right? You would give them the strategies, you would give them everything that they needed to become successful, but the reason why they weren't is because of the mindset, right? And so early on, and being in the general population, I couldn't pick and choose who, like, I didn't have my own brand. I was with Camp Gladiator, so it's a general population, and that's not my ideal client. All right, my ideal client is somebody who's going to value the mindset first, because at the end of the day, you've tried everything under the moon for the past decade and nothing has worked. And it's not that didn't work or that didn't work, because they all work. What didn't work is you.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So there's something in your mindset that's preventing you to get any further, because you can get Joseph's meal plans, you can get Joseph's workout program, you can get Michael Jordan's play-by-play, but at the end of the day, if you don't know how to work a plan, you're not going to be successful. And in order to do that, you have to build skills. You have to build traits, characteristics, mindsets, communication, adherence, consistency, and learning how to build these daily habits before you can even follow a program. I told you guys earlier before that you can go to IKEA and you can go buy a piece of furniture. You can bring it home, but if it doesn't have the right tools to build this IKEA furniture, you're walking around with a hammer and everything, right? And you might build something, you might get a little further, which is false progress, but you're not going to build a strong foundation because you don't have the skill sets, all right? And so what I like to do first is build the skills, build the mindsets. And the only way to do that I've noticed is done best is there's levels to this game. And you actually, this is why I recommend you guys just hire Joseph, because he's a phenomenal coach and understands, just because from the last podcast, he built levels to his program so that way you can adhere to it better, right? And so what I found the most is you're starting Monday. The first thing I want you to understand is I need you to understand that what we're doing, your workout program, your nutrition program, is a guess, like we talked about, all right? That I don't even know if it's gonna work. It may go in the wrong direction. You know what? It's okay. So right now I'm just trying to program you to understand. And off the gate, the first 3 months, I wanna let you know, it's an acquisition phase. What is an acquisition phase? It's a phase where you have to expect that you are going to mess up everything under the sun, and you're going to continuously mess up. You're going to run through all the obstacles. You're going to have the nutrition plan. You're going to have the workout program. You're going to have everything you need, and you're still going to hit a roadblock, and that's to be expected in the first 3 months because you don't know how to ride a bike yet. All right, so how do we learn how to ride a bike? What are the little steps? So instead of focus on the results, this is why I'm not attractive when it comes to want to work with Jonathan. I would have a high level, top tier coaching program because I need to attract the right people who understand mindset first. And so off the gate, I don't care about your results. And that's just my personal preference. I don't care about your results because the reason why you failed is because you want results. And I need to be sure that you understand you got to have me and you got to build the right tools. You got to have the hammer, the screwdriver, the flat tip. And I want to be able to teach you how to work with those and then optimize it where you can a cordless drill, and then you start becoming efficient over time. So the first thing is I'm starting Monday. The first thing I'm going to ask you is, how long did you work out last time? That's like my first, you said you did it. You saw some results. Great. How long did you last time? How long did you work out for? I'm like, oh man, 6 weeks. Cool. All right. I don't care what your goal is. Your job is to get 7 weeks. I like it. I don't care about the nutrition. I'm about building up to everything. And I know the lowest hanging fruit for most people is going to be the workout. Okay, so let's program your workout. I know I want to go 5 days a week. The momentum's high. I'm feeling amazing. I want to go crush it. No, you're not. Like if you're going to work with me, then you're hiring for my expertise and what I can actually train you and change your life forever. Right. I'm trying to teach you how to build. All right. So I need y'all to understand. I'm not trying to teach you to get results. I'm trying to teach you how to build so that way you can go impact other people's lives because you learned how to build. All right. It's the missing steps. And so let's figure out, you want to work out, let's work out 3 to 4 times a week. There's levels to this. If you want to work out 5, show me for the first month, you can do 3 to 4. And then we could talk about it. Like adults. So, and also if you're somebody who struggles with the scale, this is probably the only part where at the very beginning, I need you to get wins. I'm not going to have you jump on the scale. Okay, because depending on if you're new to this and you've always struggled with this, then I'm just about trying to get you wins. And so here's the deal. I'm one thing at one time and we're going to execute it. And later on, we're going to add another step later. So for the first goal is we're going to work out 3 to 4. Why 3 to 4? Because I don't like hard measurements. I don't like hard measurements of like, you're going to work out 4 days a week because if you don't hit that 4th, you're going to tap into that mentality of I failed. Okay, so that's one of the first strategies I want to use. Everything's within ranges. Okay, and I don't like anything exact. I like ranges because I'm trying to mentally prepare you to be able to understand failure is part of the process. I just need you close. So 3 to 4 times a week, we're going to do that. And for that first month, that's our only goal. And what's going to happen? You're going to run into problems. Awesome. Fuck yeah. Why? Because those problems are the answers that you need to get to the next level. You're going to run into problems. I'm already prepping you that we need problems. I actually want all the problems. I want all the smoke. Why? Because you got me, we got the answers. We're going to overcome them. So I'm already prepping you Your mindset. When most people view problems, they think, oh my gosh, no, not this again. This happened last time. Oh my gosh, yes. Yo, we have some blueprints. We got some answers. We can help you move forward because inside that problem is the blessing. It's the answer that we need.
Yep.
All right. So one of the first problem is you scheduled your week out that you want to work out at 5 a.m. Well, it's one of the first problems you're going to come across.
Didn't wake up.
Dude, you didn't wake up. Awesome. To be expected. It's going to happen. What are some strategies? Because we're going to solve this problem because you're in your first month. It's January. You're probably not going to wake up at times. So here's some deal. Where's your phone at?
Next to the bed.
It's next to the bed. Right? It's so easy. If you grab your phone in your bed, 9 times out of 10, you're snoozing or staying in bed. Yeah. All right? So the first thing is, let's put it across the room. Cool. So now you got to physically get out of your bed. And I highly suggest this because most people, general population, are going to have families. And your spouse is not going to like you if that fucking alarm is going off. Right? So that's almost going to wake you up. Okay? Now, if you wake up and turn off your alarm, you are still going to have to fight that little demon in your ear that's going to say, get back in bed. So that's problem number 2. And I'm already prepping you. Yeah. I am mentally prepping you like, yes, this is one strategy, can work. But I'm going to tell you haven't built the discipline yet to fight that. Yeah. All right. So before we can even work out 3 to 4 times a week, I'm already narrowed down your goal. I don't care about working 3 to 4 times a week. I care about you waking up. If you cannot master this, nothing else is going to change. And so now we narrow the goal to the tiniest little thing. And that's all I'm focused on. I don't care about your weight. I don't care about what you're eating. I don't care how many times you work out no more. Why? Because we have an obstacle right in front of us. So when we have an obstacle right in front of us, our now game plan is focused on this one obstacle. So our goal was work out 3 to 4 times a week, but we couldn't do that. Now what's our obstacle? I can't wake up. Now we make a plan for that. So my plan is now for this detour. Yep. That doesn't work. Strategy number 2, put it into your bathroom. Why? Is because mentally there's a shift. When you exit the room, now you're more likely to actually do what you need to do. Right? And to add on more armor to that, make sure that when you have your phone in your bathroom, that your clothes are already packed. So everything is now like right here. Now, if you still can't wake up, strategy number 3, last strategy. And I think this is kind of like the end because if this doesn't happen, then I'm probably going to fire you as a client. If you still struggle, then you can download an app. It's called Alarming. All right, you can pay $5 and it won't let you turn it off until you solve a mission, and you get to choose that mission. And this is how I had to do it because I was running into some obstacles. And I'm telling you, this is all from experience because I'm trying to optimize my day to the absolute max. And so the problem I chose, you can scan a barcode somewhere in your bathroom and it turns it off. You can shake your phone 30 times, which is mine. Bro, I'm here because I got my wife and sometimes the baby's in there. So I'm like, bro, getting quick with it. So, or you can solve a math problem, which that wouldn't work for me because I would never solve it. Or you can take a picture or something. So there's different strategies.
Love that.
And so
what's it called?
Alarming. $5. My wife's like, you need to delete that. I was like, no, I don't. Like, bro, I need that alarm. All right. So cool. You have now overcome, you got 3 different strategies and say they all failed, awesome, but we have that third one and that's kind of backup. And if we have any more issues than that, then we'll dig a little bit deeper, but that's a good base. Yep. Jay, I conquered the first goal, all right? Because now your goal is, can you wake up 3 to 4 times a week in the morning? Awesome. It wasn't even about the workout no more. Got it. Waking up now, Jay. Awesome. Well, it's still going to be a struggle. You got to build that discipline because that voice is always going to be there with you. Okay. So it's a constant battle. You're still going to fight that, but awesome. You're doing great. Level 2. All right. Now let's go work out. Finally, right? Finally. It's okay. It is okay. This is part of the process because if you don't freaking put one brick as perfect as you can to the next brick, you're going to have uneven bricks and you're going to build something. You're going to see some results and it's going to come crashing because why? You never put it piece by piece as perfectly as you can. So this is where I come in. Now we're going to go work out. All right. So I think working out, one of the best things you could do is even if you don't feel like it, just go show up. Like just driving, because I've been into a place where I don't feel like working out, right? So now the goal is 3 to 4 times a week. You're gonna go maybe 3, you're gonna go maybe 2, and we're like, okay, now we have a problem hitting our 3 to 4 times a week. Awesome, amazing. What do? We now create a game plan, a new plan of, okay, how can I solve this problem? It's all about solving problems.
I love it.
All right, so you're gonna catch a theme. It's really simple. You're just gonna catch a theme. We make a game plan. Well, I'm not motivated. I don't feel good. Okay, here's what you do. Number 1, and we're gonna see if this works, because it may not work. Who knows? It's all trial and error. Get in your car and just drive anyways, because that driving is now an ignition in your mind where you're leaving now. Like, damn, I left. I better work out now, right? Or even if you didn't leave, because we spoke in the last podcast, because you left, you have now just made an inch further progress. Even if you didn't work out, you showed up. Right. That's still better than your ass staying at home, right? So you're already prepping your mind to get there. So cool. If that doesn't work, that driving, that ignition, just getting in the car, strategy number 2. This actually is called the ignition strategy. All right. This is where you're going to plug in some motivational music or some YouTube videos.
That's my shit.
Or whatever is going to motivate you, and you put that shit on. And what that's going to do, it's going to kick you in the ass, and it's going to ignite you, and it's going to make you feel better. And you're going to get that dopamine hit. And then now you're going to be like, bro, you're going to be slamming on the gas like you have pre-workout. You didn't even have pre-workout yet. And you're going to be way more motivated to go out and go do what you need to do. That should work. It doesn't.
We talked about it in the last season, right? It was like, man, every day, like when you wake up in the morning, there is still some dealing with what happened yesterday. And that mindset and waking up and driving and just like going through your head of all the shit that happened yesterday that you're going to have to probably put up with today, that can start your day off terribly.
Yeah.
So playing something that's getting you in the zone. And personally, for me, it's not music.
Yeah.
It's not music. I can tone music out and still get in my own head.
Yeah, it's not music for me either.
It's some sort of motivational podcast, motivational compilation on YouTube, which is why I paid for YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
Is like, I don't want any commercials. I don't want any, like, I want to play an hour of someone talking to me, David Goggins,
cussing at me,
right?
Telling me to get my ass up.
And just tell them, like, go get after it. Yesterday doesn't matter. Fail. Keep fucking going.
Yeah.
It's going to pay off. So
now that's, so right now I'm trying to help you achieve your fitness and nutrition and your goals, right? There is a way to optimize your day, which should be just a different podcast because it's more detail on how to prime your day, how to get ready to go execute and go to war and have all the energy in the world to just go and crush it, which is called high performance, which is my jam. But right now I want to help you overcome this New Year's resolution where it's no longer on your list. Like, I want to help you knock it out. And what you're seeing is we're solving one problem at a time. All right, the third strategy, because I want to give you tangible things where it's going to help you kick ass for the new year, is take a pre-workout. And that's, you don't want to be reliant on pre-workout, but what we need is momentum. We need you to win. I can wing you off, but I need you to win, because if you're consistently losing and you lose too long, you're going to quit. So my game is, all right, how fast can we get you a W? What are the strategies? How can I help you overcome it? Let's stay in constant communication. Let's get you moving forward. Now, the reason why you want to do pre-workout is because once you take it, you have all this energy. You're like force. You're forcing, you're leveraging this thing that now you can use to go do your workout.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. I'm hitting all 3-4 workouts. I finally did a week. Cool. I use this system. And now you understand we're going to move up. What's the next thing? Oh, you know what? Now I need you to do this for 7 weeks.
One more week than you did last time.
One more week than you did last time. And you know what? We're probably going to run into some more problems. But as you know, I'm prepping your mind. You want the smoke. And smoke, aka, if you don't know what that slang is, you want the problems. The problems is what you've been missing this entire time because you've been viewing them as problems, and they're not problems. They're literally the gift that God is sending you for you to wake up, because he is handing it to you in your face. And if you view it that way, you're going to get so far in everything. All your problems are gifts. Extract a lesson, move forward.
I love that. So just change of verbiage. Stop looking at everything as a problem. Stop looking at everything as a setback. Stop looking at everything as whatever, and look at it as an opportunity
Yeah.
to pivot, adjust, and overcome instead of, I think it's a lot like, kind of getting off topic here, but with business, right? People in business, they just give up. They hit a roadblock and they're like, I didn't get any clients or no one liked that post or whatever, and they just fucking stop.
Yeah.
And because they look at it as a problem instead of a gift to get better, a gift to change your mindset, a gift to adapt and overcome some way, somehow. And so the same thing happens with your goals. And so now what if a client comes to you and says, Jay, I missed my 3 to 4 days a week because I had a late night. What's your advice when shit goes haywire in life and you don't go to bed until 11, 12, 1 a.m., but you're still asking your clients to wake up at 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
What do you do?
So here's the deal. I have a 2-day rule.
Oh, I like that. Yep.
Okay. So I kind of live my life around 80-20. 80% I'm on it. 20% I give myself grace. Because once again, your mind says it's precious and you got to take care of it. And if you're continuously being hard on yourself, then once again, you can go in the wrong direction really fast, which is why I like grace. So guess what's going to happen? And people view these things differently. You listen to Jocko or David Goggins, they're going to tell you to fucking do it anyways, which is awesome. I love that. Right. And if that fits you, I'm going to find out, because that's one of the first things I'm going to ask you to do is do it anyways. Just go, show up. Even if it was a half-ass workout, even if it was terrible, like whatever the case may be, just go do it anyways, because you're honestly going to feel better than if you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Now, if that does not work, because everything's trial and error, don't just listen to some amazing people, right? Everybody's different. You have to understand that you might be different, which is cool. So like me, I like the 2-day rule. Is I don't ever go 2 days without being on routine.
Love it.
Because now you might need to fact check me, but I like this statistic because maybe I made it up or I did read it somewhere and I forgot about it, but because I believe in it, it works. Yep. So the statistic is that habits are like a muscle strand. Every time you're on your habit, you're just building a new strand, and that strand gets thicker, and thicker like a muscle. So one strand, and every time you're on it, it gets thicker. But when you're not on your habit, you actually lose each day by like 50%. Like it gets weak fast. Like you ever notice you could be working out for 6 months and you take a week off, and you feel like a straight noob. Like, dude, I took a week off. How do I feel like I started from day one? Right? Because it's so hard to get, but it's so easy to lose. That habit strand is so easy to lose. So once you take a day off, you'll lose a little bit. Okay. Once you take 2 days off, you're around 60-70%. Once you make 3 days off, you're below 50%. So trying to build momentum to do it again, now it's tough. Now you created put yourself in a position where it's going to be really hard to jump back in. So the 2-day rule. I don't care where I'm at. I don't take a whole lot of vacations, but when I travel or wherever I go, it's the 2-day rule.
Yeah. Love it. So now let's pivot. Let's go. Okay, that's a 5 a.m. plan. What if we have a 5 p.m., 6 p.m.? What's like, I want to go work out after work. But we know that after work, you're going to be tired. After work, you're going to be hungry. After work, you're probably going to want to go home and change. And then once you get home, you're not going to want to leave again. Yeah. So let's kind of flip the script and let's kind of drop the alarm thing. Let's drop the pre-workout. Maybe we still need pre-workout. But what is your advice to people who want to work out at night?
Yeah, so it's all about strategy and making sure everything's efficient for you, because energy is a big deal, right? You wake up with energy. And if you aren't constantly taking care of yourself, you're probably waking up with half energy. And everything requires energy in your life. Working out requires energy. Just spending time with your spouse, kids, work, making decisions, everything requires energy. So here's the deal. If you can be a morning person, I would highly suggest that, because you got to be a mentally tough person. Shout out to everybody who works out in the evening times, because at this point, your energy from work and all the problems you deal with work and all the fires you deal with work, your energy level is low. All right, so when it comes time to wake up, it's going to be highly easy to just keep driving home. Because that little voice, that self-discipline, is what you actually need to get things done. That little voice is not going to be loud. It's going to tell you your family misses you, or your kids need you. They don't need you, fool. Like
you had a long day.
Yeah, you had a long day. You're tired. You can do it tomorrow. Like all that little voice is going to get loud. And so here's what I suggest. If you're just not a morning person, that's fine. There's a lot of people that aren't morning people. that you now have to find ways throughout the day to optimize your energy. Right? You have to find ways to energize yourself. And so one of the strategies is, once you clock out from work, I need you to go back into your car, and I need you to have gratitude. I need you to have, there's different strategies to regain energy. All right. There's nutrition. It's going to regain your energy. There's gratitude. There's prayer. There's working out, which is going to regain your energy. There's listening to ignition, right? The motivational music, right? There's pre-workouts that's going to boost, or caffeine that's going to boost your energy. But also maybe just going on a 5-minute walk outside where the sun's going to hit you is going to give you energy, because having, there's science that says the sunlight's nature is going to, give you more energy. So that's what I love about the day, is because you'll notice these different spots in your day where you're low energy. So I can use these strategies to re-energize, right? And so awesome. If you know you're going to work out after work and you're most likely not getting it done, okay, what did you eat 2 to 3 hours before work? Right? Because if you ate something shitty for lunch, man, you're going to be screwed, right? Because most sometimes general population, they go out to eat fast food for lunch, right? And if you go out to eat fast food for lunch, you're going to feel like shit later on. And so 9 times out of 10, you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage. So what are we having for lunch? Well, like we need a problem solve. What's causing you not to work out? All right. Let's pack our lunch. Let's go eat Subway. Let's go eat something that's quality. So that way you can have better fuel to make a better decision later. Okay, awesome. That still didn't work, Jay. What's next? Do your 5-minute walk. Do your 5 minute of gratitude. Understand during that gratitude period that you're thankful for everyone around you, but you have to understand, if you don't take care of yourself and go work out, then your family's going to get the burnt end of you, right? And you're useless, right? So you do have to be selfish, miss this hour with them, but understand when you're done and you feel amazing, they're going to get 10x the dad or the mom you are. All right. So have that walk, have that gratitude, have that prayer, ask for strength, and you'll get some shit done. And then these are all the same strategies. Dude, turn on the radio. Put on your MP3 iPod. Like, we're going old school. Sync up your Bluetooth, put some motivational music in your ear, and get yourself hyped up. Take some caffeine, do what you got to do. But most importantly, you got to pre-plan your day. So what I mean is, if you know you're going to work out at 6:30 p.m., then you got to make sure the night before that everything is set up for you to have success at that time period. So for example, you need to block your day. You have to block your day. What time do I feel the shittiest? Let's implement an energy strategy. Okay, then I know I'm going to feel a little bit of shitty over here. Let's implement another energy, stretching, moving, walking, because you're stagnant, you're sitting down all day. And then the third is, you got to make sure, man, everything is pre-packed. My bag is ready to go. And last but not least is, you have to have some convenience going to your workout. Is it en route? And you're going to find out the highly successful people have built a life and moved to a certain area where they're making less decisions because everything around them is what they need. Like, my gym is here, my church is here, my work is here, the grocery store is here, because they're all about being efficient, all the way down to what they wear every day. You look at the super successful, hyper wealthy people, dude, they wear the same t-shirt and jeans, right? It's not because that's their style. It's because they know energy. They know, if I make the most efficient decisions every single day, that I don't have to think about it, I'm saving energy. Because these dudes are doing amazing stuff and hard stuff, and those hard stuff requires a lot of energy. Your dreams, goals, and aspirations, you're never going to want to do them. So that's going to require a heavy load of energy that you're not going to have, because what do I wear? Wasting energy. Dude, what do I eat for lunch? Wasting energy. Dude, you are constantly wasting energy. And if you're not taking care of your body, and if you're not eating properly, and you're not doing these strategies, you're waking up already behind the line by 50% of your energy. Some people are waking up tired. That's a problem.
Which is why coaches are so helpful, because trying to figure this out on your own is probably tough, right? So trying to figure out your highs and lows of energies throughout the day, trying to figure out which plan to implement to bring your energy back, trying to figure out things that you can do to optimize your energy or save energy so that you can pour more energy into your workouts or your goals or your job or your faith or your family, whatever the case may be. is huge. And I think so far you've dropped a shit ton of nuggets that I didn't even know about. So alarming is number one. The app that you have to solve a problem before you can turn it off. I'm going to do that on the way home. And then trying to figure out like your ignition, right? Either early in the morning.
It's different for people, dude.
Yeah. And that's something too, is like, if it's like thinking about being grateful and having gratitude is something I would have never have thought about.
So here's something powerful that you say, that is, we run through problems and we get upset and we get frustrated, right? The fastest way to overcome that frustration and being mad is be grateful in that moment.
Yeah.
And because you can't be mad and grateful at the same time. When I learned that strategy, I was pissed one day. I was like, let me try this strategy. And I started thinking like, no, I'm so happy for my children to be healthy. My wife is here, and this entrepreneurship journey has been tough for me, but I love it. But my wife's supportive. Dude, I'm just thankful. Yeah. And I wasn't even mad no more. And I'm like, whoa, I'm always gonna be thankful everywhere I go.
Man, I had a client the other day, we were on a consultation, and she said the same thing. Her mom's been in the hospital. She's kind of on her last draw. Doesn't even know if she's going to get out of the hospital. A very depressing, sad moment. And she did the same thing. Was talking about how grateful she was for her kid's house. Her son's about to get married. Very grateful for her health. She's been crushing 5 workouts a week. She's been crushing her nutrition. And she's been doing all of these things and pivoting and adjusting and still getting things done.
Yeah.
And not letting this situation over here kind of drown out all the good stuff going on. So the act of being grateful is very powerful. I'm glad you brought that up.
That's 2 strategies in one. Not just being grateful, but whenever you have bad shit happening to you, which nobody's exempt from it, right? We're all gonna have family members who pass away. We're all gonna have dogs or whatever. Like some bad stuff might be going through. If you aren't constantly winning in your day and you aren't consistently working on your fitness, and if you're going to let that bad thing just take over your entire life. But if you do everything over here, you crush your day and still have that bad thing, you're able to handle it mentally better, because now you have the energy, because this is energy draining. So you got to armor yourself with as much energy as possible, so that way you can be here during this hard time and be that person who can handle it, and not be in a liability where now you can't handle it. Somebody else got to help you. And now you're a liability.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so draining. Like, people don't understand how draining that is. And guys, like, that is my biggest fear in life, is to be a fucking liability for someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta worry about Joseph. Oh, is he doing okay? Oh, how's his mental health? Oh, he's getting fat. Oh, he's gotta go to the hospital. Like, oh, how about his medication? Oh, how about his job? Like, that is my biggest fear. And so it's so funny, because every time I call back home, I talk to my parents always tell me, like, I don't have to worry about you. I just know you're okay.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a great spot to be in. And I remember, man, as a kid, my parents weren't always that way. And I was always, like, as a kid, worried about my parents. Are they going to be okay?
Yeah.
Are we going to have food on the table? How am I going to get to school in the morning?
Yeah.
Like, whatever the case may be. And so to say that is a huge point, because a lot of you listening are probably a fucking liability to someone in your life, and it's draining. And it's draining you because you're exhausting all this energy into whatever negative crap you have going on, but it's draining to them as well to have to put up with you.
Yeah.
And we're all going to go through dark times. And so I'm not saying that you're never going to be a liability, but when you are, you need to get out of it as fast as possible. And you need to overcome it as fast as possible.
So we talked about the evening time, right? Mm-hmm. And if you are going to tackle that, then you have to be super on top of your day, of making sure that it's planned, it's organized, it's to the T where you can execute. And when you do this over and over again, you're building self-confidence, you're building self-esteem, and you're fucking crushing life. You start building that momentum, and you want to talk about how are people so confident? They're winning their day. They're not doing anything special. They're just committing to the things that they said they were going to do, and they're doing it. Yeah. All right, that's how you build confidence. Yeah. You just do that stuff over and over again.
Yeah, and it's throwback to our Q&A from season 1, where we talked about, one of our clients' questions was, how do we get other people on board to our goals, and how, like, they're trying to pull us off track because we failed before, so why even try again, yada, yada, yada. And what you're saying is, once you build that routine and once you build that confidence, like, you're going to completely change the energy and the dynamic in your life. And so,
not just your life, everyone's life, because now they're inspired.
Yeah. Huge.
They're ready to go.
Yeah.
Now, I do have one strategy, because now you're going to be super exhausted that you're working on the evening time. You went through your whole day, And now you're going to get home, and the last thing you want to be is a shitty spouse because you did everything in one day. So once again, the last strategy is wait in your car. Give yourself 1 minute to regroup. And this is what I do. I remind myself that I can't go in there and be low energy, no matter what. Yeah. Because you know what? Low energy is contagious and it's nasty. And if I go in there and I'm tired and exhausted, and my wife could have had a hard day, we're two shitty people inside this household that our family needs us, our kids need us. And so no matter what, I work right now during my entrepreneurship phase, 18 hours. And at 8 p.m., when I get home, the last thing my wife needs me is a liability. Yeah. I come in there, whatever the fuck's going on, I shut that thing down. All right, I shut it down. I have to shut it down. So I walk in there and I let my wife know that I can handle this because last thing I need her is worrying about me. Yeah. I come in there and I ask her, how can I serve you? What needs to be done? Right? Because she could be having a shitty day and then she's like his day's way shittier. Yeah. And if his energy's high, fuck, dude, I need to have high energy too, right? Yeah. And so most importantly, when you walk in that door, come in full energy. Yeah. Because that's what you're doing it for.
Yeah. Man, it's so crazy. You said earlier, negative energy is contagious, but so is positive energy. Yeah. Positive energy is contagious. It is really hard to be fucking depressing or depressive around a super fucking positive person, right? Or a super high energy person. Just like, let's get this done, let's get this done, let's get this done. And I remember, and this is a great leadership thing as well, is the energy you bring to your team. How can you expect a high performing team if you're not high performing? How can you expect a positive, going above and beyond team if you're not positive and going above and beyond? And I learned it in the military because, going through different sergeants as a young soldier, the dynamic was very different. And depending on which sergeant I was with on which days would literally depict my energy. Yeah. And I could even know what can I get away with this person? What can I get away with that person, right? And so literally the energy you bring, if it's a very positive, everyone around you is going to be positive. You're going to lift everyone up.
It's powerful. I do have one more strategy. Last one.
Are you sure you said that?
Yeah, I know. But I use all these strategies because they're super important when you're chasing a dream.
I love it.
All right, because the dream is so big that you got to make sure. Yeah. Is podcasting about podcasting and audibles. Because listening to new information gives a dopamine hit. Yeah. Right. And the way I pick my podcasts or my books is whatever problems I'm going through, that is this podcast going to help me? Yeah. Right. Because then I'm arming myself with information that's going to help me solve my current problem, whether it be my relationship, whether it be with my children, whether it be my fitness, whether it be my business. Right now, it's all business, but it's making me feel like I'm getting the information I need to go solve my problems. Yeah. And it hypes me up. Yeah. Right. And so once again, it's the energy surplus.
Yeah, that's huge. And so I was telling you about the Goldmine Effect, which is a book or an audible that I'm listening to that I just finished actually. And he says that he uses the analogy of traveling. He's like, get out of town, just get away. Because being in the same monotony of the same roads, same buildings, same jobs, same everything, you're trapping your brain. So he says, go travel, right? So that was his analogy. But he also said, if you can't go travel, listen to a book or read a book, because listening to other people's story or reading other people's story is going to turn your creative mind back on, because it's really hard. No one is super creative 24/7. They get inspiration from the outside world. And if you are bored and bland in your same old for the last 10, 15, 20 years, you've got to figure out something. Yeah. And again, if it's traveling, it's funny because when I go to Mexico often, and everyone's like, you're always on vacation. And I'm like, maybe, but I have the most creative ideas when I'm at the airport, people watching, listening to other people talk, seeing what other people are doing. I'm so creative in that moment. And I get more done at the airport and get more done at the resort in Mexico than I do when I'm home. Yeah. Because it's just different, and it turns on this creative side of me that is fueled by everything external. Yeah. And so, waking up every day, driving the same streets, going to the same job, talking to the same people, is very hard for you to get creative. It's very hard for you to find that energy. Yeah. And so podcasts, audible books, reading a book, turn that creative mind on.
Just learning new information does that, right? And there's a relationship podcast I listen to, not to get off tangent, but you know, if you have a stale relationship with your spouse because you know nothing new is happening to you, and so you don't have great you ask your spouse the same, how was your day? Oh, it was good. How was your day? Oh, it was good. Right? The same old for years. It's because you're not getting new information. Because if you got new information, bro, you would be talking this person's ear off, like, oh, right? Because you're excited, you got some new information, and
like
so that's
dating, right?
Yeah.
So the beginning of dating, everyone's always motivated and excited to talk because it's all new.
Yeah.
And then a couple years go by, and you're like, oh, this is boring.
Yeah. And so one of the things that spiced up me and my wife's relationship is I was like, we're daily podcast listeners, and because now when I come home, I can talk to my wife for an hour. That's our time. Like, we talk deeply.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's because of new information though, right?
Heck yeah.
Go learn some new information.
All right, guys, well, let's go ahead and put a cap in it right there, man. You know, today's podcast pretty much brought a lot of light to me. You know, I would have never have thought the whole, you know, relationships get boring because we don't bring any new information to the table. So it was very insightful. And then also just the acquisition phase. I think you brought a lot of positive affirmations to that period of life for a lot of people. Because again, I think we set out these massive goals and we don't really know how or what we're gonna do to accomplish them. And then when we meet a roadblock, we just fail.
Well, you know, just to kind of, you know, recap all that, you know, the very first thing is, you know, you got to start with your mindset, and that's the preparation of understanding the acquisition phase. I think that's super important. Prepare your mind to ride that bike and expect to fall, hit the cars parked, hit everything. And so what you got to do is you got to protect yourself, got to armor yourself. And you do that by protecting your mind, understanding that this phase is supposed to happen. You're supposed to fall. So every time you do fall though, guys, a little quick strategy, you make a detailed plan, you hit a roadblock, you make a plan for that roadblock, and then you overcome that roadblock. And then you put that process on repeat until you get what you want. You just don't stop. You solve one problem at a time.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, hey, tune into our next episode. We're going to dive into fitness, all things fitness for our goals. We're going to dive into all things kind of movement, activity levels, and all that good stuff. So first we covered nutrition first. Now we covered our plan to fail. And then next we're going to dive into some fitness and some movement.
Yeah, man. So if you guys are watching, I just have one favor for you guys, and that's just please share the show. If you liked anything about the show, you found it funny, found some content useful, just share it. Somebody else, you know, we're looking to always impact. So share the show, and don't forget, don't work to keep up, work to separate.
Ooh, love that. Don't work to keep up, work to separate.
Yeah, so go out there and work to separate.
Awesome.
Deuces.